Hi Kiwi, we are back at Hades 1 and we're going to be playing the bow today, the aspect of Chiron. We're going to be taking it with the Zeus keepsake and we're going to be going for a build that I have run through 45 heat with. Almost got the win, unfortunately, just absolutely choked on Hades Extreme Measures 4. We're not going to take Extreme Measures 4 on this run because, as it turns out, that's a huge gatekeeper for just completing the run, but we are taking 1 level of hard labor, 2 levels of lasting consequences, maxing out convenience fee, jury summons, 3 levels of extreme measures, maxing out benefits package, middle management, underworld customs, 1 level of forced overtime, hidden security, maxing out damage control, and 2 levels of tight deadline for a total of 32 heat. See how this goes.
I'm asking for it.
Now the build that I'm aiming for is basically Sea Storm on the special, meaning the duo between Poseidon and Zeus. We'll want Poseidon special.
Your dear mother Persephone is a shrewd woman, Zagreus, more than an equal to your mighty father. I'm pleased to know you've made amends with her and taken new responsibilities within your house. Naturally, I'll continue to pitch in, and I hope that we'll meet again someday.
The reason why I'm taking Zeus first here, though, is while it will make my early game a little bit weaker, it sets us up for a lot of the tier 2 boons that Zeus offers that I really want. So I don't want to take the special because, again, I want to get Poseidon special. And actually, as bad as it's going to be, I'm going to take Thunder Dash here. Ideally, if we had gotten Zeus's call, that would have been optimal, but I will take Thunder Dash here. It is probably the weakest option out of all of them, but the reason why I'm taking it is simply by virtue of the fact that it will set us up so we can start getting double strike, high voltage, those sort of tier 2 boons that make our lightning bolts scale. We're entirely banking on the idea that we are going to get Sea Storm. If we do not get Sea Storm, we're going to have a very hard run. As you can see, though, our damage is certainly lacking early game, but Tartarus doesn't have terribly strong enemies, so the main point of the main reason why the aspect of Chiron overall I think is one of the easiest weapons to clear 32 heat with is simply the fact that it's such an incredibly safe weapon overall. You can significantly outrange your opponents and just kite them out. Granted, if you have 2 levels of forced overtime, that does make things a lot scarier. We only took 1, and that makes them overall a lot more manageable. In terms of Chaos is okay, but a lot of our damage is going to come from the passive effects that come from Poseidon and Zeus boons, so taking Chaos is okay. It's not strictly necessary here, honestly. Of the boons that I could potentially get from Chaos, things that increase our gold gain, things that increase our HP, honestly, I'm more interested in those than maybe special damage up. We are offered an early hammer, and Chiron really needs good hammers to pop off, so I am going to take the hammer over Chaos here because I stand to gain more from it. Now watch, we're only going to get things that benefit our attack. Seems to happen more often than I would like, especially when I'm trying to run Chiron. We'll see though. But again, the nice thing overall is that we're pretty safe here. Chain shot. Oh, perfect. We got Relentless Volley. So Relentless Volley and then Consecutive Volley, I think it's what it's called, or something about consecutive. Basically, these are the 2 we want. So Relentless Volley is phenomenal. It's probably the best, if not second best boon we could have gotten. I'm going to take the Darkness here because it'll give me a little bit of HP, and we're always still hunting. Even if we are running 32 heat, we are always looking for that meta progression. In terms of overall damage, again, the Zeus's dash really is probably the worst option I could have taken there. Honestly, his cast was fairly appealing. The reason why I'm not considering it at this point is... Sorry, my cat is just having the zoomies in the background. I'm not sure what's going on. We have no reason to... Anyway, Zeus's dash really isn't that strong at all. Again, it's exclusively for the fact that we can use it to potentially get duo boons and potentially... Demeter, not ideal. Whatever, we'll take her. She can help. Honestly, her on the special isn't a bad option either, but I have a very specific build in mind, and I'm trying to build for it as best I can. Now, unfortunately, Chiron does not play very well against the Snake because the Snake just teleports around, and it makes it hard. It clears I believe it clears the mark that you set on it after you use your special, or after you tag it with your attack. So you really have to wait for it to try and do its melee attack before you can reliably hit it. I'm probably going to toss out a... Oh, never mind, we killed it. Okay. Oh, we still have an Ambrosia for Demeter?
If you don't mind, I call you that. Knowing we're related like this fills me with pride. Your power over life. I think I've some of it in me. And I could not have come this far without your help. Please, for everything. This is for you.
Oh, my grandson, how you honor me with this. I am so very grateful that we've met and that you're you, if that makes any sense at all. I have my sisters, but I'd no one else for very long indeed.
My cat is going absolutely insane in the background. What are you doing? She's just like, she's really got the zoomies. All right then. Hi, Toppy.
Young Sprout, I cannot fully understand my daughter's choices, such as what she saw in your gloom-filled father to have eloped with him. But if you are the result, then she is clearly wiser than I estimated.
The sweet sentiment from our grandma, I guess. So, Frost Strike. I could take Frost Strike since we do, in theory, have the duo. We have a boon that will give us the duo for Zeus and Poseidon at this point, right? We do. So, yeah, why don't we take the attack? That'll slow down enemies and make them a lot easier to deal with. As long as we hold out for Poseidon's special, I'm more than happy to take her attack here. Okay. And a fish, because why not?
I know you're out there, fish.
I don't really care about palms on the attack. They'll give me a little bit of extra base damage, but pretty much all of our damage comes from the special, so I'm going to go for the coin here, and hopefully it'll set us up to afford something later in the shop. If not some HP to make our boss fights a little safer, certainly the Poseidon or Zeus boons that we're hunting for.
This round, fish.
Effectively, the more we stack up of those boons, the better. I guess the other thing is, no matter what Demeter boon we take, I may have to sell it because we have not approval process, Underworld Customs, I believe it is. So, we'll see. There's a reasonable chance we get unlucky and have to sell something that we would rather not give away, but the main things are I don't want to give up my... I just want to make sure I don't give up the dash until we get Sea Storm. After we get Sea Storm, I am parting ways with this dash and not looking back if I don't have to. Well, granted, only if we need to. As far as what we're looking for on this build, Poseidon special, we want Razor Shoals for the curse that Poseidon places. Ooh, excellent, another Zeus boon, exactly what we want to see this early on. Nothing from the shop that we particularly want, so we'll take this Zeus boon gladly. And hopefully we see ourselves getting Double Strike early on. That's really what we want the most from Zeus at this point, is Double Strike, because it will scale with Sea Storm so extremely well. These crystal gems are, I don't know their exact name. I know Void Stones and Snake Stones, but these laser spitting gemstones are quite a pain with forced overtime on. Their lasers come out surprisingly fast, and they're pretty long range too. So, but really, as long as you're dodging, you're not going to have to face them too terribly. The main issue I'm having is that I'm not dodging rapidly, and so I'm suffering the consequences of my decisions. We took more damage than I would have liked there, honestly. Okay, Static Discharge and High Voltage. I want Static Discharge because that will give us more damage overall, but I think I'll take High Voltage because I don't think Static Discharge can set you up for Zeus's Legendary like High Voltage can. Can it? Let's see. Storm Lightning, yeah. So I want to get Zeus's Legendary more than I want a low-tier Jolted. I'm going to try and hold out for our stronger-looking Jolted. And worst-case scenario, we sell High Voltage down the road.
I feel all tingly.
Of all of the boons that enhance our lightning bolts, it's probably the one that matters the least. But that said, its AoE is always appreciated. It's got a pretty solid AoE if you are able to keep it, of course. Not a fan of this is maybe I'm now lamenting the not having taken Jolted sort of situation that I've set myself up for, but this is fine. It just witches in Tartarus, especially with forced overtime on, can be very scary very quickly. And it feels like our damage is just barely not enough to kill an enemy with a full volley of special. It's fine though. This is why I only took 2 levels of tight deadline rather than the 5-minute timer, because I felt like I would not have a strong enough early game, because pretty much our entire strategy centers around getting Sea Storm, and until we have that, Chiron, don't get me wrong, Chiron is still surprisingly strong. I don't think it reaches the height. It has maybe some pretty good heights, but I don't think it's the highest of the heights that we see on some of the other bows, especially comparing to, say, Brahma and Hera. I'm not going to do the Infernal Trove because we do need to kind of conserve our time here. We are being offered another Demeter boon, which means something we can potentially sell to keep the other boons that we'd rather keep. I'd rather keep her attack if I have the choice, honestly. I do think I'm going to have to pop a Sisyphus on Meg just for the sake of the HP it'll bring, which isn't really that big a deal. We have 5 casts, and I tend to forget to use some of them, so why not use them when I have the option. But definitely going into Tartarus a little bit lower on HP than I would like. Or going into Asphodel with a little bit lower HP than I would like, or at very least Meg's fight. If we were a bit more stocked up on HP, I'd feel more confident. That said, if we do get Meg, she's pretty easy to deal with, and honestly, all of them, except for maybe Tisiphone. Tisiphone is a little scary with Chiron, just because you have to fight her in close range, and Chiron suffers from small
In the name
rooms,
of Hades.
because the specials will hit walls and get canceled out. Nothing here that I particularly want. I guess we'll take Norse Soul just so that it heals us, so we'll restore 35 HP and heal 30% more overall. That little bit of HP goes a long way. Ooh, a Zeus Demeter duo. That sounds very good for us, honestly. Although I do have to, oh, I just noticed I only have 1 minute left on the timer. That was a huge mistake, actually. We're not making great time, Kiwi. We need jolted ASAP.
This, nephew.
Oh. Oh. Well. Expect that.
You truly think you can withstand the ravages of winter, Zagreus? That I would like to see.
She sounds mad. She always sounds mad, though. Crunchy old winter lady has some choice opinions. I honestly don't think that getting Zeus's Legendary this early for us really matters that much, but it's kind of hilarious that we did get it. I'm going to drop a Sisyphus because I'm going to need the HP. I think we're going to be losing a Death Defiance in this room just for running out of time, unfortunately. We need to have as quick a Meg fight as possible, and that's not going to be easily done. Yeah. Like, just jury summons plus trial of any nature is going to be rough. And also, as mentioned before, witches are terrifying in 32 heat. Wow, didn't even lose our Death Defiance to the timer. Man, witch rooms are so rough, Kiwi.
The harsh of winter's gone for now, young Zagreus, and so take heart. But also, you take heed.
I like that line. Okay. I don't think there's any benefit to taking rare crop here. What would it hit that we could benefit from? Not really anything. So I guess we'll take none of these, honestly, are great. I guess we'll take Arctic Blast so that we can deal more damage overall. It'll speed along our Meg fight a little bit. And we will take the shop here in case we get we see Poseidon or we get another Zeus boon. Oh, well, would you look who it is?
Cheers,
Please give
mate.
your special.
Let me just say, nephew, that money-hoarding boatman best be fair with you. Because I'd hate to see anything happen to that little boat of his.
Cute dialogue. All right, we aren't even offered his special. I will re-roll here because we desperately need a little more
Got
damage.
anything else?
Lowest damage or lowest rarity special, but we do need it, I think, because it's going to be the core of our damage. Meg is going to be a very rough fight, but at least it is Meg.
Been seeing an awful lot of each other lately, haven't we? You had enough of me yet, Zag?
Not even close.
Never enough, Meg. You ready for another go at it too, I take it?
Always. Although I do like to keep things fresh, so surprise me.
All right, cast, attack, and special, and just spam special. We need to just DPS her down as quick as possible. After she phases, I'm going to toss in a Sisyphus right here. She shouldn't be able to dash out of the way in time.
Stay out of this.
The pact.
All right, that phased her immediately. Just keep hitting her with special. I think our darkness that dropped from the special, or the Sisyphus, is actually burning out our... Oof, got clipped. Was actually blocking our special a little bit there, but this is fine. I'm going to be continuing to take chip damage, but we got her. Okay. This is really sketchy because we already lost 2 Death Defiances.
No hard feelings.
But now that we have a Poseidon special, our DPS has increased substantially, and that does overall improve our standing. Nourish Soul should make it so that we heal a bit more from the fountain, and then we'll see what we're offered to sell here. Okay, it doesn't look like it affected the fountain. Of course, we're only offered the things that I would specifically not like to sell, but I guess her attack isn't the end of the world to give up here, and I would really prefer selling Arctic Blast, but I guess it's okay to sell the attack here. I don't want to waste rerolls here because Sea Storm is the most important thing we could potentially get out of this at this point. Let's go ahead and toss out Frost Strike. Let's go ahead and take on the Poseidon Keepsake and just pray that the run doesn't end here just yet. I think 30 HP, I think I'm going to take that. I need a little bit extra to keep me alive
Up we go, then.
with how much damage we took. And I'm skipping the Chaos Gate again because I have to play a little bit more defensively still since we don't have Sea Storm. But once we get Sea Storm, things are going to get crazy very quickly, especially because we already have Zeus's Legendary somehow. Like, how did that happen? But I don't know. We're not in the strongest position with only 7 minutes. We'll have to have as quick an Asphodel as possible. But just having Poseidon Special makes our DPS potential significantly better. Which certainly we were hurting for a good special boon. I'm really happy that Poseidon chose to show up when he did. The other issue I think is just Jury Summons is rough. Jury Summons is part of the reason we're taking so much extra time to clear these floors. Because we just have a bunch of extra waves of enemies. Not worth taking the Infernal Trove here. Eurydice, though, saves time, which is probably what we care about most at this moment. And I could potentially upgrade the rarity on our special boon, although I don't know if it's worth risking it. Honestly, I think taking heightened rarity on the next couple boons is more valuable here because looking at it, we have a fair number of boons that this could potentially hit that I don't want. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a 2 in 5 chance that we get the boon I want upgraded in rarity.
Hey, nice of you to visit us, Your Royal Majesty. For you.
And realistically speaking, more damage will come from getting a higher level Jolted or a higher level Hermes boon or something if we get Rush Delivery with one of the speed boosting boons, then I think upgrading our special will. So let's go ahead and take Refreshing Nectar. The next 3 boons have upgraded rarity.
Come on now.
And perfect, we can get a Palm and hopefully toss that on our special, which will hopefully make up for the lack of damage from not increasing its rarity.
Death has come. I have a feeling this is not going to take much time at all.
Thanatos here is a huge help because he pauses the timer while we're fighting.
I'll also do that.
Which, thanks Zagreus, which means that we have a reasonable chance of saving a good amount of time on this floor, and we'll save even more time come the once we get Sea Storm. Although at this point we're talking a big if. We would really like to see Sea Storm as soon as possible, but we really do have everything we could want for it at this point. Aside from just Rupture, the curse that Poseidon offers. I like that I can push these enemies out of his little ring of death too, which helps make sure that we're getting the kills over him. I do think he's gonna do some AoE and inevitably steal some kills from us, but I can get as many of these as I can. Oh, I'm not getting him out of that, unfortunately. I believe that forced overtime actually speeds up the rate of Thanatos' attacks as well, which is quite interesting. One thing that I also need to get better at with the Aspect of Chiron is I do not have to charge an attack after every... Oh, it's going to be... Oh, that guy jumped... Oh my goodness, that's so rude. The enemy jumped into his circle. If he hadn't jumped into that circle, I would have gotten the kill and won the duel. That's so frustrating. We don't get the HP up as a result of that, but we do get 28% more damage on our special and a fish, so...
Always time to fish.
Huh, it's a tie.
Oh, we still get some HP. I guess it's just a weaker Centaur Heart. Whoop. Sorry, Thanatos popping away made me think I had to get it. Okay, I guess a tie is still a win in that case. I don't think I need more HP now. I feel a bit safer, although if we get the Gorgon, the Mega Gorgon, I always have a little bit of a struggle with them. I'm going to save our coin because there are things from the shop that we really want. Ooh, okay, so here's a tough decision. Do I take the mini boss because we've had some very good chambers and saved some time? Or do I not risk it and go for the shop, which will save time overall? I think because it's a high rarity Poseidon boon, we could potentially see at least an epic grade Poseidon boon here, and that could mean very strong Razor Shoals. I do think I'm going to risk it and just try and take out these witches as quick as possible, accepting the risk as it comes. I'm going to drop a Sisyphus on one of these, and it didn't land on any of them, unfortunately. Okay, that's one witch down. Thankfully, our special is fairly good at clearing out projectiles because it has a fairly sizable AoE. The only issue is if I get hit before it goes off or if I dash into lava. Alright, I think we're fine, honestly.
Good.
Mostly fine. We're taking a lot more damage than I would like, but there's only one witch left, and we got her.
Bye now, lady.
You know, nephew, I had a positively raucous time down there with your old father, and Persephone was she at sight. I never thought I'd see her again. So then we're one big happy family at last. But you've a job to do, and we upon Olympus will do our fair share.
Appreciate it, Popo. And there it is, Kiwi. Sea Storm. Now, I would love this Razor Shoals, but there is no questioning that Sea Storm is objectively the single greatest boon we could ever hope to have at this point in the run, and I am not giving it up for the world.
What a team.
Get ready to watch our damage just scale into infinity. Because, think about it. Now we hit, every time our special lands, we drop a lightning bolt. And that means we drop Zeus's legendary as well. So it's a flat 80 damage every hit. And our special, there is some sort of internal cooldown, so it's not exactly that perfect. But it does mean everything that's getting hit by our special is just taking at least 80 damage every fraction of a second, which means a lot of damage. And this was actually a build that I stumbled upon during the 45 heat run. It wasn't actually intentional, I don't believe. I think it just kind of happened because I wasn't getting the Dionysus boons that I was looking for, and Zeus and Poseidon just kept spamming in my rooms.
Even though everything's out in the open now, and all my brothers, sisters, and whatnot are going to keep helping you fight your way out of there, I've still been keeping to myself of late. That way, nobody slows me down.
Don't let anyone stop you from your speedrunning dreams, Hermes. Special is faster or dash 3 more times. Oh, this is a tough decision. I think for the sake of DPS, we take the special, but 3 more dashes is just so hard not to take. I don't know, Kiwi, what do you think? I'm asking you like you can respond right now. You're in the other room. I think I'm taking the faster specials. I want the DPS.
And here we go.
Because we kill things faster, we survive longer. I will take the HP here over the coin. We've got a fair bit of money at this point. And I can afford at least 1 shop. I'll be able to afford 2 shops soon, and luckily enough, we got a fountain chamber. So we are saving. We basically saved as much time as we possibly could in Asphodel because we got the Eurydice chamber, we got the fountain chamber, and we got Thanatos. So, and here's Zeus to give us jolted.
I'll take this one.
To give us jolted. To give us jolted. Zeus. You were supposed to give us jolted. Come on now. We're gonna re-roll because honestly, jolted is kind of the next big damage up that we could afford to get. We did. I'm kidding. I forgot about double strike. 35% chance of our lightning bolts to hit twice. Why would I not want that? All right. Well, here we go, I guess. Let's see how quick we make work of Lerny. Don't forget to tap him with our cast.
Like this, Lerny?
Hit him with 1 attack and then spam the special. Look at that damage. He just got melted. Yeah, okay, see, this is why that build almost carried me through 45 feet. Not my fault Extreme Measures is so incredibly difficult and I have minimal practice against it. I guess that minimal practice part is kind of my fault, but you know what I mean. Goodbye, enemies. Like, if we get Poseidon's Razor Shoals effect, which places a curse, and then we get Jolted on top of that, we'll get Status Privilege, which is another 40% damage increase on all enemies that are afflicted by 2 curses. And we just watch them die. We just watch them get absolutely melted. Like, look at these lightning bolts drop. And because we got high voltage, we have a huge AoE on the effect. So it hits multiple targets very easily. Not to mention, I think it's called Splitting Bolt, which is whatever Zeus's legendary is called. Just more of that. Just even more damage. And because we have Demeter's attack, we're slowing down enemies to make them so much easier to kite out. It was a really rough early game, but this is where the game just becomes a cakewalk. I want to say. We'll see if I actually clear the run or not, but it was definitely a little dicey, and we ran up against the timer for that, just to take that trial, which was probably...
Had enough heat for now, I presume.
Probably a mistake in the grand scheme of things, but maybe not. Perfect. Okay, we can sell Thunder Dash here because we've got the dual boon that we care about, and Thunder Dash is very easily sacrificed over these two, I think. High Voltage gives a little bit more coin, but it overall benefits us more.
Could use the extra
And
coin.
because we sold that, we're now able to fill that slot with potentially Athena's Dash. And I am going to go for the Athena Keepsake here, I think. That is probably the thing that will carry us defensively through the rest of the run, if I can get it. I'm at full HP, so I don't even need to heal here, and Ignited Ichor would be fun if I had any considerations for rush delivery, but we haven't been granted anything extra special with Hermes at this point. So we'll save our coin and hope for some fancy boons. Like I said, we're still looking for Jolted damage, we're still looking for Poseidon's Curse, and at that point there's really nothing else we specifically need on this run. Now, Hermes versus Hammer, I think I take the Hammer. There's still no guarantee that we get the other special passive, but Concentrated Volley I think is what it's called. I would love to see that. Always a great damage boost overall. Oh goodness, we got hit by a lot there. This is another reason why I very much value the Athena keepsake, because I took, geez, 82 damage. Let's see. All right, so Concentrated Volley or Piercing Volley. Here are our options. Special pierces foes and deals 400% damage to armor. I think our damage is fine, but armor is pretty tanky. Versus your special deals +3 base damage for each consecutive hit to a foe. Because we have Poseidon's special, our base damage actually is very valuable to us because it's a 70% damage increase from Poseidon's boon on that special. So these are both two very convincing options, but I think I'm going to take Concentrated Volley because we have 12 shots +3 base damage, so we're increasing by a pretty sizable margin, and every status modifier on top of that is just more damage. So let's see if we can get Athena's dash. If not her dash, even her call would be decent for defensive purposes. I'm not that like, if I had to choose, I'd rather obviously get her dash because it gives us a reliable anti-projectile option, which not only carries us against witches, but carries us against the satyrs, carries us against even Hades, because it will reflect his little casts that he does, or his bloodstones that he summons. So I let that one regenerate because I didn't want to go standing out where these archers could hit me potentially. But the reason why I didn't take the one that pierces armor is because I feel like we do enough damage that armor isn't going to be that much of a threat.
Yours is a brazen plan of action, Zagreus, and I admire it. The boldest strategy often prevails, especially with my support.
And we'll want Concentrated Volley's damage on the bosses more than anything. There it is, Divine Dash. Your dash deals damage and can deflect. Excellent.
Athena's power.
Now we just go hunting for more Zeus and Poseidon. I do think I'll take the HP here. I like seeing my HP at where my HP is currently. I'm pretty happy with it. I like seeing my HP, if possible, above 200. It's just a happy number, but honestly 175 is usually more than enough for me to feel relatively safe. Oh dear. That said, I still, these flame chariots or these flame wheels or whatever they're called, still hate them. Hate them so much. They are so scary. At least we don't have at least they're not the benefits package sort that have the teleporting effect. Those are truly terrifying. Big versions do a lot of damage if we have any levels of enemies deal more damage. Hard labor is it, I think? Not sure, but all I know is that I do not want to be near these guys when they are teleporting in. And I can kite them into walls. And we kited them pretty darn well, all things considered. I don't think I took any damage in that chamber. Alright, a shop or Hermes. In this instance, we do take the shop because we do want to be mindful of our time. We've got a full 9 minutes on the clock, but we also have a Poseidon on the table.
Thank you, mate.
Now here's the question. Do I re-roll for the off chance we can find his curse? And I kind of think I do. So let's go for it. Let's roll and see if we can get Razor Shoals here. We do not. Deal more damage and slamming foes into barriers. Slamming foes into barriers creates an AoE watery blast of 150 damage. I think we take Breaking Wave. Yeah, we'll take Breaking Wave.
The power of the sea.
Oh, I forgot we sold Demeter's attack. Oops. There's a Zeus boon, and it's with a mini boss, which tends to be faster than trash mob chambers.
I have looked forward to repaying you in kind for our last fight.
So 3 reasons why I took this room. 1, mini-boss chambers tend to be faster overall, especially in Elysium. 2, Zeus boon. 3, mini-boss with a Zeus boon means higher rarity Zeus boon. If we get jolted here, it'll likely be increased rarity, and that means it's going to do a lot of damage. So watch what we do to Asterius here. Actually, you know what? I should drop a Sisyphus on him when he finishes spinning, I'll toss Sisyphus on him as well. Actually, I guess I have to wait till he phases now because we're just... Oh, shoot. I could have evaded that if I had dodged more appropriately. We're going to drop this now, and that should time it with his shield. There we go. A nice, juicy 1,000 damage. I'm gonna go grab these HPs before I get myself killed. I do kind of honestly miss Demeter's attack. Having the slow effect on enemies was quite nice. Just helps kind of deal with forced overtime a little bit easier.
Till next time, sir.
Kept ourselves alive well enough, though. Let's see, Zeus, what have you got? Alright, so no Jolted still, but we did get Zeus's aid, which is a pretty solid option, although I might favor Poseidon's aid, honestly. I'm not going to complain too much about a Zeus aid here, so we will take Zeus's aid. Your call strikes foes rapidly for 1.5 seconds. And with double strike and splitting bolt, or whatever Zeus's legendary is called, that just means a whole lot of damage very quickly. Would be great if we had Jolted on it too, but we'll take what we can get.
It's regenerating.
Oh, you know what? We also, because of how God Gauge generates, being more dependent on how many hits you deal to an enemy at once, we generate God Gauge extremely fast. Which means Zeus's aid is not just a huge DPS tool, it is a very low cooldown huge DPS tool. Makes it feel very fun. And we didn't get the lowest rarity either, which means it's on top of already having great damage, it has even greater damage. So, we'll see. We will see. More enemies spawning in, yep.
Haven't you learned your lesson yet?
Go ahead and toss the Zeus aid here. Made short work of most of those enemies there. I mean, they were going to regenerate if I don't kill them, but we already have another call up. So, billowing strength, or what is it? Whatever the Zeus boon that makes you deal more damage after using your call, we're going to have that. If we get that, that'll be a pretty sizable damage up. Double strike now has a 45% chance to activate. All right, so here's a trial between Zeus and Athena, and I think it's worth it because we really need that. I really want that Jolted boon. We have a full 7 minutes, and we're almost out of Elysium. And Athena's trials are actually fairly easy to deal with because she just places a shield. Unfortunately, we still did not get Jolted, but we did get Clouded Judgment. Your God Gauge charges up faster when you deal or take damage, 10% faster gain. We're already gaining ridiculously fast. But we're going to have Zeus's aid up very often.
If you had given due consideration to this matter, then I doubt you would have chosen this outcome.
The other reason why I'm taking the trial here is because it does offer us another Athena boon. Because we have her dash, we are in line to potentially get more Death Defiances from her. And I'm not guaranteed a Patroclus, and it feels like we're probably not going to see Patty at this point. So anything to increase our survivability is welcome on this run. There's still a chance, but I feel like overall, of the potential between the pros and cons of this, I mean, unless we get a bunch of shielders, which, ugh. Oh my goodness, watch them pop. I guess they can't deal with a Thunderbolt, so if I get one Thunderbolt off on them, they're gonna just start taking a ton of damage really quick. But unfortunately, because of how they work, their shields are a little bit annoying to deal with. I'm not terribly concerned by it, though. I think they're still alive one. There it is. Fewer shielders, please. Yeah, basically the way it plays out is we just need to land one lightning bolt and there it just starts getting shredded. And look at that, like we instantly regain enough God Gauge if we just get like 1 or 2 hits off. It's pretty wild. Okay, maybe not 1 or 2, but still. It feels like it is basically, it regenerates faster than I can use it almost. Especially if we didn't have enemies that blocked our damage. I'd say that was a pretty free trial, all things considered. And a fish, too.
I'd say I've bickered with you quite enough for now, cousin. Let us continue down a more productive path.
All right, 1 Death Defiance for Jeff, please. Did not get it, but we did get Blinding Flash, which means we'll pretty reliably be able to get our status privilege going because I just have to dash into enemies and then suddenly they are exposed and I can get my 40% damage increase. So, not the best, not the worst.
Right there. Another clam.
And we get ourselves a little clam, which will help too. So, HP or coin? I think because our HP is relatively low, I'm going to favor taking the HP here. The coin would potentially afford us a Zeus boon if we see it in the shop, and I doubt I'll be able to afford it otherwise, so it's a trade-off. What do I feel more confident in? It's the little bit of survivability this could afford me, or the bigger net gain that we could gain from having the coin. Worst case scenario, it buys me some HP. I think I'm going to actually take the coin, having talked myself into it that way. I can play pretty safe, and I can DPS enemies down pretty quickly. I'm going to drop a Sisyphus here. Oh, I only have 1 left. Never mind. I should have saved it for the bosses. Oh, well. I figured that'll be my way of justifying not taking the other option, is now I have healed. I have healed from Sisyphus, I guess. We want to toss out these get rid of these these splitters as quick as possible. Although, in hindsight, I have Athena's dash. Maybe I don't have to be as afraid of them as I think I should be. Because, like, watch that. Look at that. We reflected that, and it one-shot the splitter. We'll grab all these goodies while they're spawning in. Toss in a Zeus call. Oh, no, they have I saw a teleporting flame whale. Oh, wait, and it hit us. They're terrifying on forced overtime, because not only can they teleport near you, they can move to you so quickly that you have little time to react. Strategy I have for it is just dash back and forth across walls, but I genuinely think they are one of the most unfair things. If the Tartarus witches weren't a thing, the Tartarus multiplying witches, where are you? There you are. I would think they are one of the most needlessly unfair enemy types that you could get, and certainly an RNG sort of gating of things. I have Lamia could be good for just the HP it gives, 15% chance to drop some HP. I think we're about to hit the boss chamber though. Yeah, this is the end zone. I'll save my coin for a more reliable source of HP, assuming we're even offered one here, which we should be not. We'll take Athena here.
Should come in useful.
There we go. Death Defiance restores more HP than usual, replenishes one use. That's huge for us, and it's cheaper than buying it from a Well of Charon too. So that increases our survivability pretty nicely. And we're sitting on 4 minutes. Could use a little bit more time, but we will melt these bosses with our current build. If only we had jolted.
Come, Hellspawn, and get destroyed by the 2 greatest fighters in Elysium.
I only see one of them. Oh wait, it's me. You're talking to me. Oh, Theseus, we're not destroying you, silly boy. Okay, anyway, jokes aside, let's just go ahead and melt these bosses. I do have to be mindful that my range is not infinite. And that does mean that I can... Oh, come on, Asterius. I call bull. Like, did you see him just... I swear, his... I'm dropping his... Oh, I'm out of Sisyphus? Okay, I'm out of Sisyphus. That wasn't my fault. He curved around. I even conserved my dashes so that I could deal with him properly. I'm a little salty about that one, honestly. All right. Goodbye, Asterius. And now for Theseus. Oh.
You and me.
Almost got clipped by Theseus. We're on 1 HP, Kiwi. All right. We've got him phased. We're going to charge up our shot.
I just completed the repairs. Olympus, help me, please.
Get as many of these as I can on him. And we're basically just... Did you see that? Our Zeus call refilled by time we were able to use it again. Like, this is...
That's 1 champion unseated.
That boon we got from Zeus is pretty wild right now.
Thanks for believing in me, my good shade.
Now here's the scary thing. We have to do a pool of purging here. And we don't really get a choice in what we can purge because we have no rerolls.
Myself at this rate.
I think what I do here, I have 2 options. I either take the Chthonic Crowing Purse, because that will give us enough coin to potentially afford another Death Defiance, or an Athena boon that could offer us one. Or I take the Lucky Tooth just for the extra Death Defiance. And I think, honestly, probably Lucky Tooth here. Now watch it force us to sell some really good options that I have no choice but to have to part with because we do not have rerolls here. That's really the scariest thing.
Purge boons for coin.
Okay, this is manageable. Not getting rid of Double Strike could get rid of High Voltage. It's really between Blinding Flash and High Voltage, and I think I don't really want to dash into enemies if I don't have to. So I'm gonna let go of Blinding Flash here.
Oh, that's cold.
Okay.
I can do this
Well,
again.
I was picturing the worst case scenario. It was between Zeus's Legendary, Sea Storm, and our special. If we had rolled that, which I guess, all things considered, the odds of that happening were low, but I would have cried, Kiwi. That would have been like the cruelest, from feeling good to feeling terrible sort of moment in an RNG-based run that we could have nightmarishly dreamt of having. All right, there's another Hermes boon. There are a bunch of palms. There's Poseidon, who could potentially give us his... You know, I just realized we never got jolted from Zeus after all that. I guess here's what we're going to do. We're going to go for the Poseidon Chamber first. Or actually, mini-boss chambers are usually faster, so here are the trade-offs. I take Poseidon and I get Rupture. If I get Rupture, awesome. If I get his boon that makes us deal more damage to bosses, also awesome. Alternatively, I go for Demeter's attack, but that's kind of weak sauce for me. It's not that important. I think I can pretty comfortably survive. So let's go with the Poseidon room. Objectively speaking, often the strategy that's better recommended for this sort of situation is to go for the mini boss. Like I mentioned before, mini bosses are actually kind of easier with this sort of build. So objectively speaking, they're the safer option because you can't really get screwed over by jury summons in them nearly as much. Both in terms of the potential damage that jury summons causes and the time that it sinks. The trade-off, though, of course, is... Well, is there a trade-off? I guess the trade-off was the options for those mini-boss chambers weren't that appealing. It was coin, it was... Or no, it was HP, and it was... Palm levels, I think. Palm on special, not bad option. And we'll definitely consider that with our leftover coin if we don't get offered another Death Defiance at a Will of Charon.
Hello.
Oh, jeez. But here's what I was saying before about how the aspect of Chiron does suffer from close-range rooms, but Sea Storm kind of covers our weakness by just spreading an AoE wall of damage that's near impenetrable for these low HP enemies that get one shot immediately. But I do actually believe that this is where Chiron feels its...
We're not finished.
No one saw that, okay? That was terrible. That was entirely avoidable, and I knew it was avoidable, and yet I still let it happen. I could have dashed. If I had dashed, I would have reflected it, and I wouldn't have even taken that damage either. Like, what am I doing? What a waste of 100 HP. All right, we want to get rid of these satyrs as quick as possible. Oh gosh, this is a lot of damage potential. Oh goodness, Kiwi. See, this is why I made the argument for the mini-boss chamber, because look at all the damage we took, and we lost a Death Defiance. I don't think that would have happened if we had taken the mini-boss chamber. All right, lesson learned. We'll take the HP up. Oh. I don't know how this synergizes with Sea Storm, or if it synergizes at all. When you knock foes away, they are struck by lightning. Oh, you know what? I think that might cause second wave to trigger a second time. I don't know for sure, but if it does, at least on the trash mobs, that's going to be a huge damage up. Because it basically triggers it a second time. It triggers the effect a second time. On top of that, I mean, it won't get status privilege. I have no way of getting status privilege at this point. So, yeah, I guess we take second wave. I would love to see some HP. There's an Athena over there. I do think I buy that first and see if it gives us Death Defiance, because we could definitely use that.
I can use this.
Excellent. Deathless Stand. Death Defiance makes you impervious longer and replenishes one use. Good. We kind of need that after I kind of shot myself in the foot there. I think with that in mind, we're going to take the mini-boss with the HP first, because that stands to give us a whole lot of HP up potential. Yeah, okay, so it turns out Sea Storm plus... whatever Poseidon's Spoon is called is pretty wild. All right, here's the question. Do I take either Eye of Lamia or the special 40% damage up? I think I take both, honestly, because I'm more realistically going to be able to afford and benefit from those two things than anything else. That's what we're doing. Eye of Lamia gives us a chance to find healing items as we clear floors, as we kill enemies, rather. If we get a bunch of little rat enemies, I bet we'll have a higher chance of dropping, or we might have a higher chance of seeing them because there are just so many enemies. Alternatively, the other one just gives us more damage on our special, which, you know what we needed right now? More damage, right? Kiwi always can use more damage in any sort of roguelite. Go full glass cannon. No thank you. Alright, so just try and keep these little tiny rats as far away from us as possible. Just spam our special. And because of Zeus's legendary kind of just spreading out little lightning orbs, we're relatively safe too. Let's see if there's something I want to sell here.
Can wash away my bones.
Oh gosh, there is nothing here I want to sell. No. Okay. All right, then let's see what we've got next. Okay, so we do have the mini boss, so we don't have a 2-chamber Styx, which is fine. But do you see what I mean? Like, where did this boss's HP go? It went anywhere, but it went. I don't have a joke here, Kiwi. We're just DPSing like it's our job. I would love to have a better angle on this boss, but these poison deposits are a bit of a pain. All right, here, come to me. Come to me now. There we go. Yeah, breaking wave is hilarious. It's kind of funny. All right, and now we just have to clear out the little trash mobs that the boss spawned, or the mini boss spawned, and we're fine. Oh, and I even got my greater call, which is wild. Here, we'll just go ahead and let Zeus do his job. There we go. That gives us 50 HP because it was a higher rarity chamber with the mini boss. And there's a fish. Where's the fish? There's the fish. I feel like that's how I phrase it every time. Where's the fish? There's the fish. All right, what do we get this time? A little slow on that, but as always, a scuffer. All right, so I guess I could take Demeter now and hope to see her attack. I think I'm going to do that. I've
Let's see what's in
already
here.
proven that I should probably do this, but the odds of us getting a not getting a satyr sack are getting ever notably lower. So I think I feel relatively safe in my confidence that I should be able to see a satyr sack in this chamber.
It's no
and if
use.
not, well, maybe we lose another Death Defiance and I cry a little bit more, but it's fine. This has turned into a wild ride of a run, and can you see why I like almost won a 45 heat run with this casual build? It has a very slow start, but its endgame potential is kind of hilariously strong. And there we go. Never punished, except for when we are definitely punished.
Hear me on my authority.
All right, Demeter, your attack, please. Cool. Yeah, I'll take Frost Strike, or I could. Nah, we'll just take attack. That's fine. That'll slow down enemies a little bit, make our overall run a lot safer. But let us go clear 32 heat with the Chiron bow with a fun build after we get one more level of Double Strike or Clouded Judgment. I think Double Strike. So 52% chance for our lightning bolts to hit twice now. Let's see how this affects.
The monster's solitary weakness, satyr sacks, proved terribly effective once again.
I would believe that the monster's solitary weakness is not satyr sacks, but in fact head pets. He's just too tall right now, so we have to lower his head so he takes the sack and we pet his head. Only the left head, always only the left head though, remember that. The other two don't like pets.
See you, boy.
Anyway, alright, let's see how this build matches against Zeus. We've got 3 Death Defiances, we've got half our HP, and we've got a butt ton of DPS. I'll save up my Greater Call if I can, but I can drop it pretty regularly, and I'll probably use it to get through phase 1 a little bit more easily, because I tend to suffer from the little mobs that he spawns fairly often.
How often you defeat me, I shall face you here.
I appreciate that confidence, Hades, but I've got bad news because I'm about to defeat you again, and we'll have to face each other evermore. Have a special. Whoop, well, that was evadable. You need to be a little careful. He does have, what's it called?
Useless.
Oh my goodness, we are already into the next part of this fight. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and drop the Zeus call here just for the safety it brings. Pardon me, Hades, I was busy DPSing your friends. Here, have another call.
You should have avoided that.
Oh my god, look at his HP just get melted. These things are tanky. Wow, the dragons he spawns have so much HP.
I'll not indulge such outbursts from you, boy.
I don't even care that I'm getting hit. Like, look at him, just his HP just getting melted. Where are you, Dad? Way to time out my boon. Lame. Okay, fine. I could have dashed a different direction, but this is fine. And goodbye, HP. Alright, so that's phase 1. I think we're sitting pretty here, Kiwi. I think I'm a little too far away for that to hit him. This is fine, though. Let's toss some casts, or some specials out, kill out his little things. I want him to use lasers, because if he starts using lasers, he's not going to be able to hit us, and I can still hit him from around corners, which is just hilarious. Oh, saw that coming in time. He's spawning his little pots. I'm going to go ahead and pop as many of them as I can. I hear lasers happening. Oh, that was a enhanced trap damage. I got to be careful about that. Let's go ahead and phase him before we go tossing out our next attack. Or tossing out our God Gauge here. To be able to get him there. Oh, no, no. Okay. Oh, no, lasers. Oh, goodness, Kiwi. Alright, I'm playing a little iffy here. Oh, is he not getting... Maybe we already phased him and I didn't realize. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And just pop as much DPS as possible. I am playing a little bit more sketchy than I deserve to, but... Did you just see his HP? It is gone.
I must admit, you learned something at some point in all this.
Alright, that was a little frantic, admittedly. I could have played it a lot cleaner, but also, you know, when you have this much damage, sometimes you can just press buttons and watch HP bars disappear and not care about your own disappearing at the same time.
Let's do this again.
Oh, trust me, Hades, we will, but probably at a higher heat.
See you at home.
Chiron is the weapon that I most consistently get to higher heats on, aside from Hestia. Hestia also kind of carries high heats for me. And Rama and Hera could as well, but I feel like Chiron is definitely the beginner bow, the like most beginner, one of the most beginner friendly weapons out there, I would say, once you get used to how the bow plays. But like, what another crazy run. So let's see, what have we got here? We had got Aspect of Chiron. We don't need Companion Shady. Double Strike is cool, but I don't think we include that. Let's see. So we can skip the special. I think we got the idea. Sea Storm, and then we got... Where's Poseidon's legendary? There it is. Second wave. Sea Storm, second wave. Actually, hold on. Let's just match colors, please. That's prettier in my brain. Concentrated Volley and Relentless Volley. What a wild run. we were once again spoon-fed basically everything we could have. Ah, wait, you know what? We need to include Zeus's Legendary here. Hold on. Where is it? Where is Zeus's Legendary? Splitting Bolt. There it is. Where's Relentless Volley? I like my colors matching. Splitting Bolt, Sea Storm. Wait, no. Storm. And then, what does more damage? I guess the special is funnier here. So yeah, Relentless Volley. Like, what a fun run. We're almost at 80 clears now and 47 win streak. Not bad.
My weapon shuddered at the touch of it.
Okay. Well, let's go do our house roundup and call it an episode.
Just then, how about a very small, yet very deadly beetle landed upon Hydra, slaying Zagreus, ending his attempt?
What is the most lethal beetle known to man? I do wonder. Maybe it's Heracross. I'd like to think it's Mega Heracross. Mega Heracross was a right terror in competitive Pokemon back in the day.
As a victory.
At least for a while, and then it just kind of got outcompeted by everything. I'm telling you, Achilles is the strongest there ever was. Cause of death, Achilles.
Well, everyone, he's back!
That's fair.
Welcome to the House of Hades. Just come on in.
It is a little sad that Persephone has been gone for so long. I hope she comes back and we can say, like, have some dialogue with her. I wonder how many clears we have to have before we do that.
Your trainer's been absent from his post, more so than usual. You voided his pact with Lord Hades, didn't you? I don't know how you did it.
You know he's more than my trainer, Than. As for how I did it, turns out being the first and only son of Hades has its privileges. Now Achilles gets to be with someone he loves, who loves him back.
Love is common among mortals. Is theirs really so special as to be worth the trouble? Not just on your part, but theirs.
I think so.
I think it is.
Well, there's Zagreus and I sharing a brain cell again. We have new conversation with Dusa too.
Oh, Prince, I heard the news about Master Achilles. That's so great. I'm going to miss him being here as often as he used to, but I'm just so happy for him and for you.
I feel like a lot of events have happened, and that's why we're seeing this so late, but it's been quite a while since we freed Achilles of his pact.
Me too, Dusa. The happy for him part at any rate. He's a good friend, and he deserved much better than to be stuck here.
Woohoo!
Woohoo indeed. Alright, Cerberus, how about some pets for you?
Old father's nice to you at least, isn't he, boy?
I'd love to see like a little animation of Hades uncomfortably, like just like he's at his desk and Cerberus just starts like nudging him with his left head, like, will you pet me, father, please?
Cerberus looks mournfully toward the prince.
And then Hades just begrudgingly agrees to pet the dog. Wow,
Over here.
There's a lot of commentary around here. I guess it's everyone being happy for Achilles right now. I'm not sure. Let's see.
Megara, you ever been in love with somebody?
Yes.
I wonder who.
Who?
Shut up.
That smile says it all.
Here's what I caught.
Zagreus knows too. Some nectar, some gems. Thanks,
We're
chef.
settled up.
All right, next, are you going to comment on Achilles next?
I saw Achilles with Patroclus and Elysium next. They're free to be together now, thanks to you. If only you could have seen them.
Oh, I can see them, my child, and I have. And it pleases me Achilles has earned some degree of respite from his servitude, for all his loyalty to our house. For what you have done for him, thank you.
Father isn't going to be thrilled I've let him out of a binding pact.
Your father is committed to his rules, and you released Achilles from his pact according to those rules. There is not much that even he can do about it, save to have Achilles sign again.
Doesn't mean he won't still be a bit miffed about it, though.
Don't see Achilles doing that anytime soon.
Does anyone use the phrase being miffed anymore, just like as a representation of being frustrated or annoyed at something?
So detailed.
Whatever. Anyway, let's go ahead and see what the game wants us to run next, Kiwi. And while we're at it, say goodnight to Skelly. Hi, Skelly.
Let me have it already, boyo. No holding back.
Oh goodness, a sword run. My least favorite weapon. Hooray. Can I just use the spear instead, Kiwi?
Multifaceted as anyone I know.
Okay, so we beat 32 heat on the last run using Aspect of Poseidon. I don't really want to run the sword, so I don't think I'm going to, honestly. I think what I'm going to do is, since we have even fewer runs on the spear than on the the sword. When we're offered the sword, I'm going to just play a little bit more with the spear because I haven't really gotten enough time to play with it. So if I'm going to get forced into a melee build anyway, why not try this? With that said, we had a crazy aspect of Zagreus run, but I kind of want to go for another aspect of Achilles and see if we can get some crazy special thing going on.
Achilles.
So I don't know what special I'm going to take. I'll figure that out off camera, Kiwi. But with all that said, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're asleep, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Take care now.
Right in the pelvis. Oof.